Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're exploring what happens when monopolies restrict output, why this creates deadweight loss, and how price discrimination and public policy respond to monopoly power. A monopoly produces less than a competitive market would. It chooses quantity where MR equals MC, not where price equals marginal cost. That reduced output means some consumers who value the product more than its cost of production never get to buy it. This gap is where deadweight loss appears. Deadweight loss is the lost total surplus, the value of mutually beneficial trades that don't happen because the monopoly sets a higher price and a lower quantity. In other words, society ends up with less output, higher prices, and lower welfare than in a competitive market. Competition pushes price toward marginal cost. A monopoly pushes price above marginal cost, creating underproduction. Here's your first question. Why does a monopoly create deadweight loss in a market? Now, let's turn to price discrimination, a strategy some monopolies use to capture more consumer surplus. Price discrimination occurs when a firm charges different prices to different consumers for the same product, not based on cost differences. Examples include student discounts, senior discounts, airline ticket pricing, and coupons, each charging different customers different amounts. In the extreme case of perfect price discrimination, the monopoly charges every consumer exactly what they are willing to pay. This eliminates deadweight loss because the firm serves the entire market, but it also transfers all consumer surplus to the monopoly. Most real-world price discrimination is imperfect, but it still changes how much surplus consumers keep and how much the firm captures. Whether price discrimination is good or bad depends on the situation. It can increase output, but it can also reduce fairness. Because monopolies limit output and raise prices, governments often use public policy to regulate or reduce monopoly power. One option is antitrust laws, which break up monopolies or prevent mergers that could harm competition. Another approach is price regulation, often used for natural monopolies like utilities, where costs are minimized with one provider. Second question, what is one reason governments regulate or break up monopolies? Finally, governments may choose public ownership of industries where competition is difficult or adopt policies to promote market entry. Monopoly power affects prices, output, and consumer welfare. Understanding deadweight loss, price discrimination, and policy responses helps us evaluate how markets function.